Peace, peace. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ariam
and Yodit,
and you're tuned in to deuxsol Radio.
That's right, your favorite twins are back talking all things music and culture.
Because two takes are better than one, but twin takes are even better. And we're back with another episode.
Yep.
Happy June. We just had Juneteenth.
Happy Black Music Month.
Yes.
What a time to be alive right now.
Yeah, it's a good week, good month. Feeling all the vibes.
The vibes have been great. The weather's been beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, the skin has been melanated. You know, I really have no complaints this season.
Yeah.
And I think this is the best time to be in New York City.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Just be a part of this rich, robust culture here. There's so much happening and people are just happy to be here.
You know, the feeling is unmatched here. Just endless things going on.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere and do anything.
Yeah.
We actually watched our cousin play a Juneteenth kickball match.
Yeah.
Which was super fun.
It was so fun.
I will say it was super fun, but typically I wouldn't be going to a kickball game, but you know, being in New York, you never know what the options are to do.
Yeah, there's so much community here and there's so many things to do, especially for Black people. And it was just nice to be a part of that moment, you know, even from just watching all of the teams get together, the people that it attracted,
the camaraderie.
Yeah, the camaraderie, the Black-owned businesses that came out to support the vendors, and it was just a nice moment for the culture. So definitely was happy to be there,
and it was like fun to see Black people play, you know, and just have fun, like on just like a basic level, just going outside and playing. It really just took us back to being kids.
Yes, it did.
All we wanted to do was go outside and play.
Yeah, that's the real liberation, just existing.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
And being able to feel free and really lock into your joy. And everyone says that, but it's really real. Like, that is the realest sentiment. And I think that's why Juneteenth has meant so much to people in the most recent years. Because, I mean, just existing and just being together and that community is just such a beautiful and powerful thing. It's just nice to be able to find those safe spaces and just be with your people. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
I agree. I agree.
And then we had the Stoop Sesh in Harlem. That is just becoming its own staple in Harlem, which is beautiful to be a part of, especially during Juneteenth. The New York Times even did a piece on it. They posted about it on Instagram. So, like, we all know what it is, but it's just, again, just a friendly reminder that, you know.
And then them deciding to have it in Harlem specifically is
like a lot of history.
Exactly.
There's a legacy there. There's a culture that transcends generations. And it's just always special to be in it and to witness it in motion. So it's a beautiful thing. So we have no complaints. We're having fun, and it's still the weekend, so there's still more to do in New York City, and we're so grateful. So thank you, New York.
It's like we mentioned earlier, it is Black Music Month. We can't not talk about what Beyoncé is doing with the Cowboy Carter tour. We haven't talked about it on the podcast, but we have discussed our experience going to the Renaissance tour.
Yes.
Which,
I'm still recovering.
If you remember that episode, seriously, if you remember in that episode, we were just gushing about our experience as attendees and just the phenomenal show that this living legend put on. And she's just continuing to do that, you know, with Act 2 and Cowboy Carter. She made history with winning Best Country Album and Album of the Year for a country album by a Black artist, by a Black female artist. And so,
the layers,
I mean, get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
But even just the fan reception, the videos online, the outfits, the vocals, the choreo, I mean, what else could we expect from Beyonce?
I know.
Greatness.
We can't expect anything less. But if you remember a short year ago when we were reacting to the album dropping, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful project. It was so impactful, like Ariam said. But, you know, being able to have this year to really get acquainted with the project and really hear and see the vision that Beyonce had, and then to now see her on tour, bringing these songs to life on stage it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a full circle moment for her fans, and I'm sure for herself, being from the South, being from Houston, like, it must feel validated in a lot of ways. Every stop she makes, every show she performs, she's sending a greater message
and
that
the impact that she leaves. Yes,
and
absolutely.
it's been beautiful to see. Sadly, Ariam and myself could not go. We had COVID when she was at MetLife, so
yeah, it sucked.
that was a whole other story. But what I will say, all the footage that we're seeing online of fans going to her shows, all the people that we knew that went to see her perform, again, she over-delivered, which is the standard. And it was just beautiful to see her really leaning into her country roots.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to enjoy. But now they're in Europe.
Yeah.
And so we're getting glimpses of that.
Beyonce and her team are so intentional about everything that they do.
Yes.
Including Blackbird was very significant in the Cowboy Carter project because the meaning behind Paul McCartney's lyrics were really to show love to Black women. When she had just done the London tour, she had a shirt that had 2 blackbirds on them. Of course, it was a nod to the song, a nod to Paul McCartney. But another layer to that was that the shirt that she was wearing was designed by Stella McCartney, his daughter, who's also a fashion designer. So just the thought process and
layers
and the details, you know, I think everything.
I love this kind of lore.
Yes.
This is the kind of stuff I live for. It's like everything that Beyonce does is with intention. But it's, again, like that's a beautiful way to create that through line right there. Yeah.
And they just had the Paris show, which we really need to talk about. Miss Miley Cyrus came up on stage to perform their duet, Two Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Two Most Wanted is one of our favorite songs on that album. It also won a Grammy, but also their vocals on that song are so mesmerizing. They really complement each other. That duet is just, it's probably one of the best features on the album because she has a lot of features on the project.
Absolutely.
But I think as a true duet, it stands alone on the album.
No, I agree. We all know that Miley has a really distinct voice and so does Beyonce. But hearing the songs, to your point, Ariam, their vocals blended so well. The runs that they were doing, Miley was keeping up with those runs, honey.
Yes.
Like, a Beyonce run is very distinct. Okay? And then and she can play around with it. She can add that country twang whenever, like we've seen Beyonce do everything. Her vocal agility is insane.
Yeah.
But when Miley and her got together, the lyrics were already one thing. The melody was another. But the runs when they were harmonizing, that it just proved to me that Miley has range.
Right.
And so I was just like listening to it over and over and over again because they killed it.
That song, for both of their stories, you know, they're both from the South, but they've both been kind of questioned about their authenticity, right? Their whole lives, right? Because Miley's done it all as well, you know, the pop route, the rock route, so many genre bending moments as well as Beyonce. And so I feel like that was a moment for like the two of them to reclaim who they are and where they're from. And I think that's what makes that duet a little bit more significant for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's a great point, Ariam. I think that's what makes it so powerful to finally see them take the stage and perform it together. Paris is so spoiled. They killed it. They sounded amazing.
They looked
live.
so
they
adorable.
Looked amazing.
Yeah.
Like Miley with the bangs and the hair and the va-va-voom. And Beyonce, of course, is just angelic.
Yeah.
So just to see them finally take the stage together, it was healing.
I mean, it was technically their second time on stage together.
Oh yeah, when they did the Stand Up to Cancer performance at Fashion Rocks.
I never forget that.
Was that 2008 or 9?
It was one of those years. I don't remember the exact year, but I always remember that performance. Oh my gosh,
yes.
And they were standing right next to each other.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like a full circle moment.
She was sandwiched between Rihanna and Beyonce.
I mean,
that was a pinch me, I've made it moment. But to your point, Ariam, it's so. First of all, I used to love that performance. I used to watch that over and over again on YouTube.
So good.
We had to go to YouTube to watch it at the time. And it was such a good performance. And like they had everybody that was big performing on one song. Like literally everyone. Mariah, Mary J. Blige, Ashanti,
Natasha Bedingfield, Sierra. Who else? Fergie was in it.
Who else?
Nicole Scherzinger.
Now Tony Award winning Nicole Scherzinger.
Keisha Cole
was there.
Who else was there?
I feel like
it was a lot of
it
women.
Was stacked, very stacked.
You said Mariah.
Oh, Carrie Underwood was there too.
Yeah, she was.
I feel like that was a really stacked performance.
But that also tells you a lot about that era.
It does. It does. It takes you back. It takes you back.
Because those were the girls running pop music.
Yes. Wow, what a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was literally like a time capsule moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
You're right. All the talent, like, and then not even just who was on the stage, but like what their style was at the time. Like their hair could tell you like what era or what album they were
promoting,
or you know what phase they were in their career.
Yeah.
So that was a moment. That was historic, actually.
Yes.
I'm gonna go rewatch that just to relive that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, a full circle moment to see Miley and Beyonce on stage together.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of Black Music Month, Billboard Music came out with their 75 top R&B artists of all time list. And it's their staff pick. So this is a serious list that they take their time to cultivate and rationalize and put together for the public,
which is not an easy task.
And it's not an easy task. And it's had people talking. It is not a small feat to put together this list when you think about the R&B genre and how long it's been around and how much it's evolved and how many subgenres exist within it or how many decades it's transcended. So it's not an easy task.
Yodit and I definitely have some thoughts.
Yeah, we have some thoughts. There were a lot of things that made sense to us. First being Stevie Wonder being number one on this list.
That makes sense.
I have no complaints about
I am not mad about that at all.
He's been in the game since he was a child. He was a child prodigy.
Yeah.
And yet his career has literally, it's still here. He is still here performing, sounding amazing. He's created so many different bodies of work.
Yeah. I think his voice is so singular. He has a very specific musicality.
Mm-hmm.
He's a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
He's a vocalist.
He's a musician.
He's a musician.
Like an instrumentalist.
I think that alone, he can take number one.
Yeah,
for
take
me.
the title. We're okay with that. Yeah. Having Whitney, Mariah, and Beyonce in the top 10 makes total sense to us.
Totally. What had us confused were people that were extremely low
on the list
of 75. Why was Luther not in the top 10?
That is a great question, Ariam.
When you think about one of the strongest male vocalists in R&B,
mm-hmm.
you have to think about Luther. I mean, his catalog alone, hello, timeless, never too much.
A House Is Not a Home, so amazing.
Here and Now.
Like,
Here and Now.
Here and Now, yeah. We know.
They put him at 22.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm just a little confused. Glad he's on the list, just would have been expecting him maybe in the top 10. And then another person that was a little surprised to see at 41 was Brandy. Brandy?
I feel like that is criminally low.
Brandy, though?
Criminally low.
The vocal Bible? 41? Like, did we forget?
I mean, I think she alone is the reason why we have all of the new kids of R&B today.
Mm-hmm.
You hear her influence clearly.
Yeah.
The 40s feels so low to me.
Out of 75?
I think about all the music we grew up with. You know, Boy Is Mine,
mm-hmm.
Full Moon.
Almost Doesn't Count.
Sitting Up in My Room.
Baby.
Like,
What About Us?
The way they talk about our love.
Oh my God. That was a moment too.
You know, it's just, like, it feels
criminal.
It feels wrong. And then you have Usher, right? Like, Usher is what, top 15?
He was at 15.
So she should be hovering around there.
Yeah.
At least.
I'm not going to lie. I have some questions there. Like you said, she inspired the new age.
Yeah.
The new class.
And speaking of the new age, her was at 70.
Out of 75.
Out of 75, her is 70.
Yeah, that was shocking.
And I get it. She is a part of the new class,
mm-hmm.
but she's won Oscars.
Grammys.
And the vocals.
Yeah, the vocals, are insane.
We fell in love with her vocals before we even knew
what she looked like.
Before we knew what she looked like. I mean, on a basic level, that's what matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the music. This is a sonic experience.
Yes.
And she captivated us.
Mm-hmm.
And for her to be 70 out of 75 is a little, that's mean.
Yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan. At 54.
I'm laughing. It's not funny. I'm just
sad.
I just feel the same way. It's just like, again, similar rationale. She is a vocal genius.
I mean, the vocal acrobatics
Yeah.
in nearly all of her songs.
Yeah. Every song.
There is like one run in at least all of her songs that makes you gasp.
Yeah.
Because
Audibly. Yeah.
And I think about her, I think she's a true R&B artist.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, her sound is R&B.
to me, I
R&B.
feel like she fits the bill
Yeah.
on top of her very unique, singular vocal
Yeah. I mean,
range.
her tone, her range.
You see people
her
try to
runs.
replicate
Yeah.
her runs.
Yeah.
And people are struggling
Yeah.
because
Fighting
it
for
is
their lives to
it's
get there.
unmatched.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I just feel that 54 is also very low.
Very low. Like we said, 75, you might think that's like a substantial amount of people to put on a list. But when you think about, like we said, the history of R&B, the decades that it's transcended, the different subgenres within the genre, there's a long, long legacy of artists that could be included in this list. I mean, this list includes the greats like Sam Cooke, Donny Hathaway, Bobby Womack. Like, it's not just 90s R&B artists, 2000s
More
artists,
contemporary R&B artists.
This is including everyone we can think of in the long history of R&B. I think instead of 75, we could have extended it to 100.
At least 100.
100.
At least 100 because it's just not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely 100, maybe 150 to be safe.
To be safe.
Give
Just to
yourself
give a
some
little-
cushion
just to
because
give a
there
little
were some
buffer.
people that definitely should have been on there.
Yeah.
But we'd love to hear your thoughts now that you've heard ours. If you guys agree with us, disagree, let us know.
Yes.
Comment below. And that wraps up today's episode. If you like what you heard, you can keep up with us on our socials at DEUXSOL. That's at deuxsol. You can also watch us on YouTube and Spotify, and you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. If you can hear it, we'll be on it. And till next time, guys, peace.